We're back, dude. Man, feels so good to be back doing this shit, man. Like, fuck. I can't stress it enough, man. Like, go for whatever you want, dude. Like, go for it, bro. God is gonna show you if it's for you or not, and that's what I'm gonna talk about today. Like, our will versus God's will, right? I separate, my will and God's will by basically like what I want to do is my will. What I should do is God's will, right? Whenever I'm trying to manipulate or control a situation, that's when I'm running on my will. When I just go with whatever, whatever's given to me, good or bad, that's when I'm running on God's will. And like, if it's a bad thing, it's important for me to just do the next right thing, and God will continue to work in my life, right? It takes no thought to do the next right thing, like in the Bible, it talks about how, you know, it's in our thinking, right? In the Bible, it talks about distrusting your thoughts. And whenever we think about what we're going to do next, whenever we have to think about it, that's when we're using our will, because it takes no thought to do the next right thing. Instantly, we know what the next right thing is. As soon as you see something you want in the store, your brain says, don't steal it. But if you start thinking, you might convince yourself and give yourself a bunch of reasons that, allow you to steal that thing. It's in our thinking, right? Options aren't real. Options are illusions. Options are our will because we're humans and we have brains and we can think. But there's no real choices and options because it takes no thought to do the next right thing. And when I'm working at my best and I'm operating at my most optimal, it's when I'm not thinking, man. It's when I'm not thinking and I'm just doing the next right thing. I'm just doing what I know I should do, regardless of what's happening outside of myself. That's when I have the most progress. That's when I have the most gains in the gym and outside the gym, in my personal life and in just every area of my life, bro. Um, there's a lot going on in my life right now, a lot of good shit, and I've been blessed with an amazing person who came into my life unintentionally, like unintentionally. And my first thought was like, cut this off, stop. It's like the song, it's either pussy or the come up. Cut this off, Ray. We're on the come up right now. We don't got time for that. We're not gonna focus on that. Like, I've been single for like 4 years. I'm still single, but it's like, a person has been put into my life, and I promise this shit was unintentional. This is like the first time in my entire 29 years that shit just fell into my lap. Every girl I've ever got, I had to game up. I had to, jump through hoops, do this, do that. You feel me? I'm from the Bay Area, so like macking and running game and like manipulation and pulling women is like what I was raised to do. So like I used to do it for sport, and since being single, I've really focused on like why I'm single, what got me in the situation. You know what I mean? It really took a deep dive internally on the reasons why I ended up being single. Ultimately, because I was a cheater, womanizer, all that good stuff, right? It's because I'm running on my own will, doing what I want. Like feeling sorry for myself, being a victim. Running on misinformation that I got from misinformed people. You know, um, if you're in your 20s, fresh out of college, bro, like, and you're a man, bro, remove all that shit you were raised to think and believe. Guy code, girl code, all that shit, bro. None of that shit is real. Everything that happened in college is fucking fake. It's a simulation, bro. That's not how real life works, bro. And no one's standing on none of those principles out here, bro. So do not miss your blessing for some childhood rules that people ain't been sticking to from the jump. You know what I mean? Because if we did the research and pulled the data up at who, you know what I mean? Whose jacket is what? You feel me? Like it always shows, bro. So you don't gotta you don't gotta hold on to these old rules and hold on to these old ideals that you created when you were a child, bro. You're a man now, bro, and you need to move and operate as a man. And a man does what he should do every day. And if there's time left on the weekends, maybe he can do what he wants. But until you're in a position to really be financially free and your whole family's taken care of, bro, what you want comes on the back end, bro. And lately, I've been doing what I want. I've been feeling myself. You know what I mean? Having this type of persona, like, and I've done some shit. You know what I mean? And I'm comfortable right now. You feel me? Like I could just sit in this position and just wait until shit continue to grow, bro. But I'm doing myself a disservice. And the way God has been working in my life today, I understand like what I want is for me. He wants me to have it, but it's on his time. You know what I mean? I can't worry about when it's coming. I can't worry about the outcome. I just need to focus on the inputs. I just need to focus on the work. So that's where I'm at today. I put the blinders back on, tunnel vision, bro. Like it's evident where I'm headed. It's evident where I'm going. You know what I mean? And I no longer got to stress about like this girl situation. It's not something I was stressing about, but like, dude, I'm not gay, so it's like I'm trying to have sex and shit. So it's like even though I'm single, like, and I'm not trying to be a hoe and a womanizer, I would still have to have like, if you feel me, a shorty to like bust down here and there. I don't be having sex all crazy, but like I'm trying to get that off. But like just living that single life, bro, it's not optimal. It's you have to really be dialed in. You have to really be focused. And for the most part, I was focused, bro. Before this woman came into my life, bro, I was only having sex with one girl faithfully. You know what I mean? Not even a lot, like every 2 weeks. And that's the first time I've ever done that intentionally. You know what I mean? So you don't gotta worry, dude. You don't gotta worry about the job, the dream, the vision, the goal, the girl. Like Godspeed, bro. God's will, bro. Do the next right thing, bro. Do what you should do, bro. Don't worry about what you want. Don't worry about what you want to do, bro. Right now in this moment, bro, you got everything you need, bro. You got everything you need to do exactly what you want to do, bro. Trust me. And if you can't do it, you need to look inside, bro. There's something you're doing that's preventing you from getting it done. It has nothing to do with the outside. It has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with the job, the kids, none of that, bro. It's you. Something you're doing right now is preventing you from reaching your full potential. It's preventing you from reaching that goal, bro. And it's up to you to decide and figure out with the, personal development work and internal shadow work what that is, bro. And in my experience, it comes down to me running on my will rather than God's will. So that's where I'm at today. Stay Down Fitness. Click the link in my bio. Take you to my Instagram. Click the link in my bio. Book a consultation call. Let's put a program together. Let's put a system together. Mindset, fitness, and nutrition is earned daily, and we start in the mirror. Come on.